Yo, what is up, YouTube? This is the Mermail Master coming at you with a special deck profile for Team Time Rider's hopefully newest member, Mr. Christopher Martin Quinn, otherwise known as the Roma Pride. You saw the preview of this video up as one of our bloopers, but now I thought I'd finally get into the deck profile to show you what we're dealing with here. So, Chris is actually going to be building an Ojama deck, and we suggested for him to institute a couple of raccoons in the deck. So pretty soon he's going to be picking up this deck, and he's going to be starting his journey on the path to building those Ojamas. But the reason I wanted to profile this raccoon deck is because I originally built it as something that was inspired by a guy named Matt at my locals. Now this guy, if you didn't know him, actually believed that he was Reiji Akaba from the Arc V series. So he'd come in and he'd do the full Japanese, blah 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 all through, and he would always play a raccoon deck. So I thought he was gonna bust out DDDs when I first played him, but he just busted out this raccoon deck instead, and he still got his ass kicked, but it gave me an idea that okay, there's this stupid ass kid who's trying to build raccoons with that twist. So I said, why don't I make a Reiji Akaba twist on this raccoon deck and create a deck that can fusion, synchro, and XYZ. And so that is this deck. So without further ado, let me get into the deck profile and I'll show you some of my choices. I want you to keep in mind that this deck is not going to be like your normal raccoon decks. It's more of a casual variant, not the variant that's up for competitiveness, but the fun factor on this is off the charts. So yeah, gonna start off. So the first card that I'm gonna start off with is 3 copies of Baby Raccoon Tantan. He is your main monster that you want to open up with. You just set him on the field, and then when he is flip face up, he gets a special summon a beast type monster. And there are a lot of beast type monsters that you want to special summon that I'll show you, but he just basically opens up all of your plays. It is a little bit bad that you have to set him first turn, but he's still a fantastic card, and you can't run him at any less than 3. 3 copies of Baby Raccoon Pompoko. I like this slightly less than Tantan, mostly because he's really not that, good. Because what you do is, when you summon him onto the field, he basically says to your opponent, oh, I'm playing raccoons, so it's like that. But he's still a level 2 target, so very, very good card to have. Now, the next card we're playing is 3 copies of Key Mouse. Now, Key Mouse's effect allows you, whenever he's destroyed by battle, to select 1 level 3 or lower beast type monster and add it from your deck to your hand. So it just basically fetches pretty much everything in this deck that you'll see. So there is Key Mouse. Fine card. And what would Key Mouse be without 3 copies of Lock Cat? Lock Cat's effect, when he's normal summoned to the field, special summons 1 level 1 beast type monster. So the basic thing is you get Key Mouse, flip face up, search Lock Cat, and then Lock Cat can summon and special summon Key Mouse back to the field, go into a level 4 synchro monster. And there's really no restrictions on what you can go into, so I think it's kind of cool to have Lock Cat in here at 3. And then, of course, 1 copy of Chain Dog. When you control 2 beast type monsters, you can just special summon this dude from the graveyard. So I think the basic tendency here was to use Key Mouse, Lock Cat, and Chain Dog interchangeably to become a level 8 synchro monster. But it's a really interesting kind of series of cards, and they were released in 3 different packs: Shining Darkness, Duelist Revolution, and Starstrike Blast. So it it's just kind of an interesting little thing that Konami decided to do. Then the next card, what would this beast deck be without 3 copies of Junk Synchron? Now, this is your single-handed playmaker in the deck. He is one of your best tuners, gets back any of your level 2 beast type monsters, activate their effects, or synchro into whatever you want pretty much. And on the plus side, he's also a dark monster. So I currently don't have the monsters with me, but In this extra deck, I run 1 copy of Frozen Fitzgerald and 1 copy of Z-Man the 8 King, both of which need a Dark Tuner, and Junksynchron fits that perfectly. Yeah, the reason I'm running them, they're not really that good cards, but this, as I said, like, this is a very fun kind of casual deck, and you know, if your opponent sees Z-Man the 8 King, like, I mean, you know, it's gonna be pretty amazing. You're gonna get some props for that. Next cards I got in here are 2 Kalantosa, Mystical Beast of the Forest. This is the guy that you probably want to get with Tantan, because Kalantosa, when he's special summoned by the effect of a beast type monster, you get to pop a card on the field. So like, it's just fantastic. And when this card was released, like, it just changed the outcome of Raccoons. 2 copies of Sea Koala. Now, I actually like this card a lot because decreasing your opponent's monsters to 0 actually helps all of your guys get over them. So it's very, very helpful in effect. And he's 1/2 to a certain fusion monster, which I'm sure you'll be able to understand the name of once you see the next card, and that is 1 copy of Tree Otter. I only like to have Tree Otter in here at 1 because first of all, he's the other half, and then second of all, his effect is actually pretty dang good. Once per turn, he can increase the attack of 1 other beast type monster on the field by 1,000. So the basic play that you make is you special summon Tree Otter some way, or normal summon it, increase the attack of a beast type monster on the field, and then when Ronin Raccoon Sandeu creates a token, that token can take on the upgraded attack of that monster. So even when the attack boost ends, you know, you still, like, you know, 2200 monster goes up to 3200, and then Ronin Raccoon can make a 3200 token. Even when that attack boost ends, the 3200 token stays because it takes a snapshot of what the monster was at that time. So Tree Otter is really good for, like, boosting up attack powers. And I kind of like the fact that it's a sea koala instead of a tree koala, and a tree otter instead of a sea otter. So kind of cool. 1 copy of Raikou Lightsworn Hunter, pretty self-explanatory. Set this with Baby Raccoon Pompoko and just flip it face up and blow up a monster or something. Fabled Cerberus, he's in here as the Fabled Tuner. We do run Fabled Unicorn in the extra deck, and it's a fantastic card, so Fabled Cerberus being in here is absolutely necessary. And he's great at 1 in the deck, because when he's discarded to the graveyard by any kind of card effect, he just special summons himself back. 1 copy of Wind Up Kitten for bouncing stuff. If you can, your opponent just has 1 Tantan on the field, you can just grab Wind Up Kitten, bounce something, and then go into an XYZ. Next, for the next card, we have 2 the Earth Hexseal Fusion. Now this is how we go into the fusion monster, because I do play Obedient Schooled in the deck, which special